welcome back to another Metal Bend album rankings here on Metal Bend Chronicles, man. Anyways, we're going to talk about Ozzy Osbourne today in this album rankings video. You know, this is one I thought about doing for quite a while, you know. I mean, Ozzy Osbourne, man, naturally is what got all of us into heavy metal for the most part. You know, with Black Sabbath, you know, be it Black Sabbath or be it on his own. Ozzy has a real strong connection with all of us. He's like our grandfather or godfather, you know what I mean, or the dad we never had. So anyways, I'm going to rank all 11 studio albums. I'm going to admit, I only have 2 of his studio albums. You know, I got rid of my Ozzy collection quite a long time ago. I've been meaning to, like, rebuy it again because I do like Ozzy, don't get me wrong. And the only 2 albums I have are Diary of a Madman and Black Rain still. You know. And I got this, Prince of Darkness box set, which has undercovers on it. It's pretty beat up, I apologize. But yeah, I still have those. And the new album I didn't even buy. I did not buy. So what we're going to do right now, though, we're going to rank all 11 of his studio albums. And I'm sorry, man, this might make some people mad. But you know what? Come on, guys. Let's handle opinions here. I mean, we all have different opinions. We all have different albums we like from each artist, so you know what? This is my ranking. I'm not going to change it to appeal to nobody. So we got 11 studio albums. The cover album is not going to be included. And I had to write these down. So coming in at number 11, and this is going to make some people mad, or some people are going to agree. But there's no way I'm going to defend this album. Ordinary Man, the newest album. And what's sad about this, you know, is this could be the final album by Ozzy Osbourne. I'm sorry, I don't like it. I've listened to it a few times over. I just cannot get into it. For one thing, having Post Malone involved, you know, and then you got Andrew Watt producing it, who is basically a pop producer. I can't get behind this. I cannot get behind this. To me, it sounds manufactured. It just sounds fake and processed. And I know that's going to upset people. But yep, coming in at number 11, Ordinary Man. To me, not good. Number 10. We have Down on Earth. Besides Dreamer, I honestly forget a lot of this album. Yeah, it's pretty forgettable. I don't even know what else to really say about it. Not a good album. Okay, number 9, we got Black Rain from 2007, which is one of the ones I actually still own. It's not, it's definitely not good. I mean, yeah, Zakk Wylde plays on it. To me, this sounds more like a Black Label Society album. Is that bad? Not, I don't know, not really, but the songs really aren't that strong. Like Never Gonna Stop, man, that's the best track on here. Okay, coming in at number 8, we got Scream from 2010. Gus G takes over for Zach Wild on guitars, and Gus G, very good guitar player. He comes from, Firewind, Dream Evil, Night Rage, Mystic Prophecy, So yeah, Gus G was pretty notable in those underground metal bands, you know. Great guitar player. You know what sucks about Scream is it still sounds like Black Rain in a lot of ways. And it really sounds like Gus didn't even write on this, which I don't think he did. And that's kind of a travesty because to me, if Gus G would have been allowed to write on this, I think this would have been a great album. It's pretty forgettable too. Up next, we have 1995's Osmosis. Oh man. Okay. So back in 1995, we didn't even think we would get an Ozzy Osbourne album because at the time he teased retirement, during the No More Tears tour. I remember this. But he had gotten back together with Sabbath for a bit. And, yeah, man, all of a sudden, he came out with Osmosis, which has Dean Castronova on drums, who would go on to be in Journey, and was a part of, what's the other band? Anyways, so Osmosis came out in 95. It's not horrible. There are some decent tracks on it, like Perry Mason's great. Thunder Underground's a freaking heavy track. Denial's actually a very good ballad. Tomorrow's a pretty good heavy track. It's not horrible, but it's nothing to write home about, I think I'm thinking of the band Hardline, too, that Dean Castronova came from. I'm not sure if he came from Hardline. I cannot remember now. But I know he had done some work, too, with the vocalist from Axel Rudy Pell, John Gioli. Oh, I don't know. Memory's kind of freezing on that one. But anyways. In at number 7 would be Osmosis. Not terrible, but nothing to write home about. I think it's too ballady. Okay, this is where it gets tough. I really had a hard time ranking these next 6. And at number 6 would be Bark at the Moon. Again, not a bad album. I actually enjoy Bark at the Moon. But again, to me, it kind of suffers from too many ballads. Now, the ballads aren't bad. I really like You're No Different. That's a great ballad. Bark at the Moon's an iconic heavy metal track. Rock and Roll Rebels, Good Center of Eternity's freaking amazing. But yeah, man. I mean, Waiting for Darkness is good. But besides that, it's still a good album. Don't get me wrong. It's just not one of my favorite Ozzy albums. Okay, number 5. We got No More Tears. An album that seems to get a lot of shit these days for being, I don't know, too commercial. But the album is good. I actually really enjoy this album. Mr. Tinker Train's a great heavy track. I Don't Want to Change the World's freaking amazing. I think Lemmy from Motorhead had something to do with the lyrics for that track. You know, you got Desire, which kicks ass. You got the title track, No More Tears. It's freaking epic. It's still a great album. Like, I don't have much complaints about No More Tears. You know, I just think a few other albums are a little better. And Road to Nowhere is an amazing ballad, I think. But anyways, moving on to number 4, No Rest for the Wicked. I think this is probably Ozzy's heaviest album. First with Zakk Wylde. I think Zakk Wylde was only 19 on this album. And he brought something definitely different at the table at the time. It's a great album. Miracle Man, Breaking All the Rules, Devil's Daughter, you know, Demon Alcohol, Crazy Babies, Bloodbath in Paradise. I mean, it's a great album. I think Fire in the Sky is probably my favorite ballad from Ozzy, to be honest. I think it's brilliant. So yeah, that comes in at number 4. I think it's a very underrated album too. It's probably his most less commercial album, because it didn't do well when it first came out, you know. Okay, so now we get into the top 3 work. It's pretty controversial. Coming in at number 3, the 1980 album, his debut album, Blizzard of Oz, which could easily be number 2 or number 1. I think the reason why I'm putting it at number 3 is due to the fact I'm burned out with Crazy Train. I've heard Crazy Train so many times. I'm just burned out with it. Yes, it's iconic. But to me, there's way better tracks on this debut album, like the opening track, I Don't Know. I think that's one of Ozzy's best songs. You know, Suicide Solution, controversial, but a great track. Mr. Crowley still gives me chills when I listen to it. I just love that track. No Bone Movies is a bit goofy. That kind of weighs the album down. But the last 2 tracks, Revelation, Mother Earth, Still the Night, Still Away the Night. Ooh. Oh my God, just masterpieces. Okay, coming in at number 2, and this is going to be a shocker. The Ultimate Sin from 1986. I love this album, man. I absolutely love this album, despite, you know, people saying, oh, it's a glam metal album. Maybe it is. But there's some great riffs on this freaking album. And I think it has some of Ozzy's most underrated songs, to be honest. The Ultimate Sin, the opening track, heavy. Kick ass. Secret Loser, pretty underrated. Never Know Why. Good anthem. Thank God for the Bomb, it's still good. A little goofy, okay. Thank God for the Bomb, okay. The track Never, though. Holy crap, that track has a cool ass guitar riff in it. You know, then you flip it over, you got Lightning Strikes. Catchy, freaking heavy metal riff in that track. Killer of Giants is my favorite track off of here. You know. Fools Like You, it's alright. Shot in the Dark, the most commercial track on here. It's good, but I think the rest of the album's better. And coming in at number 1, Diary of a Madman. Absolutely love this album. Over the Mountain Man, iconic, legendary. Flying High again, okay, overplayed, but still pretty cool. It's got a phenomenal guitar solo by the late Randy Rhoads, man. You Can't Kill Rock and Roll, it's a great track. Believer, oh my god, Believer's tremendous. You know, Little Dolls, Tonight, SATAO, killer tracks. Great guitar leads by Randy Rhoads and great melodies. And heavy riffs by Randy Rhoads. Then you get the epic closer, Diary of a Madman, to me the best ending to an Ozzy album. Brilliant. I just love that acoustic guitar piece and the solo in it, man. It's like a melancholy, a classical piece, man. It's beautiful. So Diary of a Madman comes in at number 1, and that's my album ranking 4. The Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. Keep it metal.